Hi, my name is Deb Enright, and this is Money Matters. Thank you for joining us. And thank you also to Daryl Thompson of Raymond James for his consistent sponsorship of the program. Today is going to be really fun. We're going to talk about the Williamson Incorporated Education Initiative that has to do a whole lot with getting the business community, nonprofit community, and other community leaders involved in our schools. It's a five-pronged thing. We've got a career exploration day that happens at the Ag Center for 8th graders. We've got teacher externships where companies are allowing our teachers to come in over 3 days to make sure that our curriculum stays relevant to the industry needs. That's really cool, and we're very thankful for the ones we've had so far. We also have a student internship program. That's the thing we're going to talk about today. We have job shadowing and then something called a speakers bureau where executives go into our classrooms and they'll talk about how what they do is relevant to whatever the class is that the students are participating in. Wonder why you had to take algebra? We're going to have some exec come in and try to convince the kids that there's a reason for algebra too. But today, I'm very excited to have three very, very cool guests with me who did something that's never been done before in Williamson County during the summer. The county government learned about the student internship program through the Chamber of Commerce and said, we want to play. Let's see. How can we expose and educate some really interested students in all the things that we do for emergency services? And so over last summer, 4 students were able to participate in the first of its kind internship with the Williamson County government. I've got 2 of those students with me today. I have Colin Shin from Ravenwood High, and I have Michael O'Neill from Page High. And rounding up the guest list, I have Kate Brock, who is with the Emergency Services of Williamson County. So, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. And just to make sure I've got it right, this obviously is Kate. We're really glad you're here. This is Colin from Ravenwood and Michael from Page. Okay, so we're just going to I guess what we want to do today is make sure that everybody out there understands this is pretty easy to do. We've got some great students, and so I thought it would be fun to talk through what happened this summer. So Kate, can you just first explain to us, kind of from a 30,000-foot view, what it is that your offices do for all of the county residents here?
We work with emergency disaster, community preparedness in the event of disasters. We do emergency planning, work with grants to help support other emergency services and our public and private partnerships, education with our other entities that we work with in the event of a disaster or a major emergency. We just kind of fill the gap and work as liaisons with the other emergency services, public-private partnerships.
Okay, so that would include the police, fire department. I always say canines because I'm not quite sure what umbrella that's under. So and I love the dogs. Where would they be under?
It's really specific to a department.
Okay.
Right now in Williamson County, we have canines that are under law enforcement agencies like the Sheriff's Department, Brentwood Police, Franklin Police, Fairview, so on and so forth. And then you have other dogs that they're working with. Right now we're training one for search and rescue, non-law enforcement search and rescue.
Oh, cool.
So canines are department specific as to their capabilities and their use.
Okay, now tell me exactly what you do.
With the canines or?
No, just like
overall?
What you do overall, yeah.
I work in emergency planning with plans and programs that we utilize, like the Homeland Security grants, the county emergency plans, hazard mitigation, that's natural, man-made, the emergency operation plan, which blankets public and private in the event of a large-scale emergency or disaster. And then, of course, we do response for hazardous materials or special events, special type situations. We had the missing child in Nolansville that we were on when we had a recent incident with gasoline, actually a diesel tanker, off
Right.
I-65. We helped work with that, and we bridged relations and help fill gaps.
It sounds like
with
there's
other
just a
groups.
ton of different things that you guys do. That's
We
really
do.
interesting.
It's very broad spectrum, emergency management is.
Okay, so then Michael Fletcher, who's our director of security, I think probably, actually he was helping with some training at the chamber, and he said, I think this would be kind of fun if we do something, because there doesn't seem to be a direct pipeline necessarily for folks who might want to go into emergency services. So I think he came down to talk with you and Mac and said, how can we put something together? And you guys did an extraordinary job, which we'll kind of unpack as we go forward. But Colin and Michael, talk to me about how you even learned about this opportunity.
Well, I got an email from my mom one morning telling me about this opportunity, and I just saw a bunch of choices on the list. There was an EMA, electricity thing. I don't know, a bunch of options, but EMA stuck out for me, and I guess I called and asked questions, and here I am.
Now tell me why you were interested in that.
Maybe I'm interested in the field. I mean, like the things similar to the job, I guess, or the military, police, things like that I'm interested in. So, yeah.
So it worked out.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Michael, tell me about you.
Pretty much the same thing happened to me. I got an email from my health sciences teacher at school, and she kind of told me about what the opportunity was, kind of in a brief census, and then she gave me a link to it, and I looked at it, and it said internship, summer internship, unpaid, unfortunately, but no.
There's always
There's always a catch.
something.
But it said like emergency management, so my brain automatically just like went off on a tangent, and I was just like picturing everything that I could be doing, so like riding with ambulances, riding with police officers and all that, and I just like started going off and like thinking,
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
the
this
summer
gotta
I
be
want.
right.
Yeah.
So
do you guys watch NCIS or no? I'm sure you watch.
I've watched CI. What is it? CI.
I
can't
don't
think
know.
of the name.
CSI?
CSI. Right.
Oh, thank
CSI,
you.
Like Miami a
Well,
few
of course
times.
you know.
but-
No, I'm kidding.
Right. So I was kind of looking forward to like seeing if I could get into it and seeing like what all the opportunities were in all the different fields, and so I applied
And it worked out.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm hearing from you guys is, first of all, it'll be something to do over the summer, which is fun. That there could be some excitement involved in terms of riding in ambulances and police cars and all that stuff. When you guys put that together, tell me what you wanted the students to experience or understand about what you do.
Majority of it was a belief that a lot of people don't quite understand what we do, what our full capability is, the different groups that we touch, that we work with emergency communications. They spent a day with our emergency telecommunicators in our emergency operations center for Williamson County. I was able to observe that. They were able to work with Michael Fletcher and working with some of the school plans. They got a brief education on some of the canine basics that we did, but it was mostly just, this is a broad spectrum field and this is what we do, because a lot of people aren't quite sure, but it is a big up and coming field that a lot of people are becoming interested in.
Yeah, it seems like it. So why don't you let's just do superlatives, all right? So give me the coolest thing that you did.
I think it was like the second week or something. There was the school sheriffs, like the training or something, like what to do in different situations in the school environment. So we all went to some elementary school, and then me and the other interns just kind of sat back and looked at each process they go through. And it was really cool to see how they react and what to do. So.
There's the student resource officers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. How about you, Michael?
The coolest thing I would say would probably be on the very last day of the internship. I got to go to the gun range with Michael Fletcher and the SWAT team, and I got to like see them run through all their drills. They were qualifying with all their weapons, so they weren't like doing anything that was like crazy, but it was still really cool to see all the different kind of weapons and tactics and like gear and all the stuff they use. And I got to shoot with them a little bit too, so that was
Did
probably
you?
the coolest
Oh my
thing.
God. It's amazing how much somebody has to know who protects us. I think it's incredible. And that is something that the public doesn't really know. I'm not sure that they should have cause to, but I think, and to understand that the training's ongoing, right? Because these weren't necessarily new guys on the SWAT, men and women on the SWAT.
Right.
This is just the ongoing training and professional development they have to go on. Well, that's really interesting to go to the gun range. So now I'll start with you now, since we did Colin. Tell me what surprised you, or what you took away from the internship that you really didn't think you would take away.
Well, I came into the internship thinking that like I was dead set on wanting to be a paramedic one day, or doing something in EMS. So whether it be EMT or going longer and getting my paramedic, or doing something, I wanted to work on an ambulance, you know, whether that would have been. So I came into it, like I was saying, thinking, reading the article and stuff that Miss G, or my teacher, had sent me about like emergency. I was thinking like paramedic, I'll be able to ride an ambulance and it'll be awesome. It'll be able to like solidify it even more what I want to do. So I came into it and I didn't even like research what EMA was. I just like I was dead set on like ambulance. And so I came in and I was like, we're not at the hospital, like where are we? And then I figured out that it was like such a different thing that I originally thought it was. So I was kind of skeptical about it, but then you know, a couple days in, we started doing some more things, and I was like, wow, okay, so paramedic would be cool and all, but there's all these other, you know, fields that they're bringing to my attention today, and, you know, like all these other things that seem really interesting. So now I'm thinking maybe law enforcement is something I want to go into after training with the SWAT team and going and seeing all the vehicles they use, sitting in the dispatch and all that.
Those vehicles are
right.
cool.
So I was really thankful for this just because it kind of changed my mind completely, because now I don't think I would have been as happy as I would be, you know, working as a paramedic as I would be working as a police officer, or even taking that further.
See, that's the magic of these internships. Either somebody goes, yeah, that's really cool, I'm going to stick with that, or, you know, maybe not so much anymore. So how about for you, Colin?
Well, just like him, I had no idea what EMA was. So I didn't know what to expect, honestly. But this internship definitely broadened my view. Kind of, at first I thought like emergencies, you know, if it's like someone's hurt, then EMS goes, nothing else goes into it. But there's a lot of behind the scenes process, I guess. So yeah, kind of understand how everything works together, where it's like police department, fire department, EMS, whatever. So I didn't know that before, but
so the integration, which I guess would also allow, in terms of studies or career, there may be some ways to maybe do a little bit of all of it, or stay in terms of one structured path. Well, I think that's wonderful. I want to thank all of you guys for coming. It was fairly painless, right?
For the most part.
For the most part. Thanks. I also wonder sometimes if there was an opportunity for another kind of internship within the emergency services. Would that be something you guys would also be interested in doing? So if there was like a internship year 2 kind of thing, would that be something that you all would find interesting? And drill a little deeper, because I understand you went down to the dispatch room, which is amazing. You got to play with the dogs, or Elysium. And then you went out, you went down into the command center to really understand if there were some kind of catastrophic weather or something, right? And there really is a command center.
Right.
And you saw all the cool vehicles and met some of the people that keep us really, really safe. And this was all during the summer. And it was unpaid, but the intrinsic value, Michael, seriously,
honestly,
it's got you on the right trajectory now for career. Well, I want to thank all of you. I think this is a terrific example, and it's a very unique example of what the Chamber of Commerce is trying to do with Williamson County Schools to get you guys more in tune with some of the stuff you may want to do post-college or right after high school. So thank you, Kate and Colin and Michael. And we'll be back in just a moment. Dave Allen is with us to finish up the show. He is the brand new executive director for the career technology education piece of our school district. He's got some great ideas, a great vision for where he's going to take our kids, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the ease in putting an internship together so that any one of you will be able to participate as well. We'll be right back with more Money Matters.
Where can I find out about the Venus flytrap?
Where can I research information on my business competitors?
What is the safety record on the car I want?
Where can I research careers?
Where?
I'm all shook up.
The Tennessee Electronic Library. That's where. And it's free to everyone in our state. I'll go to your public library and find out how you can log on and get your password to a world of information just for living in our state. You can probably even figure out the password just by listening to my voice.
I'm all shook up.
And welcome back to Money Matters. I am thrilled to be joined by the new Executive Director of CTE, Dr. Dave Allen. He comes to us via Cincinnati, but first was a principal here in one of our schools. So, David, it's great that you're here, and thank you for joining us at Money Matters. And let everybody know where you were the principal.
I was the principal at Heritage Elementary here in Williamson County for the last 3 years.
That's got to have just been so much fun. Oh my goodness. And now you get to kind of think about the world, and this is where your expertise is, in terms of our high school kids and our middle school kids, getting them ready for college and career.
Yeah, well, it's Heritage Elementary was a wonderful experience. I love the little ones, and it was just a joy being there with that staff and those students. But the high school level, the high school curriculum, exposing kids to what it is that they're going to do for the rest of their lives is really where my passion is. So I'm just thrilled that Dr. Looney gave me the opportunity, and we've hit the ground running. We got some exciting things in place, and it's a great opportunity for me. But I have a lot to do in a short period of time, for sure.
You do, and I think when you jumped on, the Chamber had started a little bit of this work, and then you came on and you have really helped to expand it so that it's CTE, but it's also anybody who wants to have a student internship, which I think is really nice because that broadens it then to thousands of kids who may be wondering exactly where they might want to go, or can they kind of get their foot in the water? Is that kind of the notion behind the student internship program? Exactly.
I think if we looked at internships solely under career and technical education, I think we'd really be doing a mistake and a disservice to students. I believe every student at the high school level should be exposed to some type of career-related experience. And even though my previous position was principal of Heritage Elementary, prior to that I had been principal of a 3,000 student high school. And so I really at that point in time saw the need, and we started internships even back then in Cincinnati through athletic training, through a partnership that we had with a local hospital there. And it was there where I really started to see the value of this. I really started to see the light bulb go off with kids. And if you think about it, coming from a high school principal's perspective, I was grasping and hanging on to every opportunity to keep those seniors and those juniors engaged and having meaningful, relevant education to them. And the opportunity to expand the classroom beyond the classroom walls really gets kids excited. Either excited about something that they know that they want to do, or finding out that this is not what I want to do, is something that I think is powerful, and I really believe in it, and I believe that every student at the high school level should get an opportunity to do that. Deb, to take it a step further, I've got an 8th grade girl at home, my daughter Emily, and I mean, every night it seems like my wife and I are talking with her about what it is that she wants to do. She's going to experience some of these internships because she really needs to start thinking about it. And it's a hard conversation to have with your little ones and your young ones, but it's a really important conversation to have.
Yeah, and help me with this, but I think that at least in the current generation, not just the kids, but of the parents, the shopping for college is different. It's not an if, it's not a when, but it really is more of a where and how that education is going to directly to feed into your success in terms of careers. Its viability, its sustainability, what its income level may be, what it's going to bring in terms of kind of that intrinsic value. And I don't think it's necessarily new. I just think that in Williamson County schools, we know it's incumbent upon us to help families best on, I mean, we do all the stuff in terms of understanding a child's aptitude and their capacity, and we work really hard on the financial part. But I think letting kids have a sense, just as you said with Emily, look, there's a variety of things that go on here. And each of these pursuits may be very different in terms of how you structure college, or how you even look at the rest of your high school, or how you set up your high school.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure when I was in high school I was thinking about it at all. But definitely today, it's starting at a much earlier age. It really needs to be occurring at a minimum at the 8th grade level, because students should really be looking at that 4-year program for their high school and how all those courses come together and what does an internship look like within those courses. So it really has to start at that 8th grade level. It really needs to be a conversation not only about a 4-year plan, but with the governor's plan with Tennessee Promise, at a minimum a 6-year plan with the Free Community College, and for most students in Williamson County, an 8-year plan or even beyond that. So that opportunity to include in the conversation internships and getting exposed to what it really looks like. Deb, I wanted to be a doctor when I was at the end of my high school career.
Well, you are.
Yeah. I wanted to be a medical doctor, and I think I was in the program at Ohio University for about 3 days before I really realized what that looked like and really realized that that wasn't where my passion was. And having had that experience, it really makes me even more want to give an opportunity to set up a program to have an opportunity for students to really see what it is behind the curtain when you're talking about careers.
Well, I love that, and what I guess I think it's so easy here because we have so many folks doing so many different things. We have the traditional kind of, doctor and lawyer and corporate exec, but then we've got this is an entrepreneurial mecca, and there just seems to be a lot of opportunities. This whole emergency medical thing that they just created because they heard about the opportunity that the Chamber and the partnership with Williamson County Schools has created. That's a fantastic partnership that's only going to grow as we understand kind of how to walk that and make it deeper and even more comprehensive.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to speak to our chamber here in Williamson County. I've been in several school systems and I've worked in a few different states. I really had my eyes peeled back when I had my first exposure to Matt Largent and the Williamson County Chamber of Commerce and how much they want to be involved with the Williamson County schools. They see the value, they see the importance. I've never seen anything like it. It is ripe. They are there. They want to support. And to speak more about what you're talking about, we really can't define what businesses, occupations, we really need the internships in. It's in everything. And that's why we really encourage people that have a company or a business or work for an organization and they want to support, they want to help. Sometimes I feel like we're always asking for money. This is an opportunity for them to give back, for them to help through hours, through experience with their careers. And it's a great opportunity. And if people are thinking, well, what I do would not be of value to students, I can tell you they're wrong, because we have students that are so interested in so many different careers and categories. Anything and everything is going to be a great opportunity for us to explore in terms of an internship.
Exactly. And I think the other thing that Matt knows is that it's an economic development piece for him and for the membership that he and his staff serve. And I also know that part of it, we keep talking so much about understanding if this is really what you want to do. But I think you've said on many occasions, it also gives kids practice of what it means to be in an office, what an office looks like, how very different those experiences can be. I mean, an IT firm may look very different than a real estate firm, may look very different than a law firm, may look very different than somebody who's in music management. And I think that, to your point, that we need everyone to get involved. Those skills, and it seems to be that those skills are the ones that need to be maximized in these internships, as well as kind of the contextual knowledge that goes on. Am I getting that right?
Absolutely, and I think the example we just talked about just a few minutes ago with the students is a perfect example. The internships are not students filing. We want to put them to work. We want them to get in there. We want them to be behind the curtain, as I mentioned before. And what a great opportunity for them to really get entrenched, really get involved and do things. And to those organizations or businesses that are a little bit afraid, like it may put them on the spot and that they have to come up with the ideas, that's what we want to be a part of and in my office. We want to be a part of those conversations to say this is how it could look, to develop it together. And it can be over a short period of time, or it could be over an extended period of time. So there's lots of possibilities.
Yeah.
Our own imaginations are the limit of what we can do with students in internships.
I like that a lot, because then you can really customize. Walk me through, just kind of briefly, what it is that you would speak with somebody who says, okay, Dave, I'm on. I want to do this. What are some things, maybe the top 3 things they need to think about?
Mm-hmm. Well, the first thing, that conversation with us, and the lens that I would be looking through would be the gaps and the holes that we have and the wants of our students. So first of all, it would be about learning about their organization a little bit. It would be about partnering that organization with the right students. It would be looking into the time that it would take and what exactly those students would be doing. So that conversation, I think, behind the scenes with the professionals, their business, their organization, and with us seeing and knowing and understanding the wants and needs of our kids to match up those experiences, I think is kind of the conversation that would happen.
So what I'm hearing is that your office, with its expertise in terms of the educational piece and really understanding the high school kids, can help make a meaningful internship, both for the folks who are providing what would be a very rewarding experience, and also understanding what the kids would want as well, which I think relieves a ton of pressure from people who are like sort of wanting to raise their hand, but they're like, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. And whatever internship they may have had a couple years ago, it may need to look quite differently for
Well, let
kids.
me ease their mind a little bit.
Okay.
The pressure's on me and my department.
Okay.
All they have to do is raise their hand and say, we want to do this.
Nice.
So then the conversation and really taking advantage. I'm telling you, Deb, we've talked about this before. Williamson County is so ripe right now with this partnership that we have with the Chamber. It is amazing. I don't know if there's another one around that we can model after, because we are setting that model right now. So that pressure, I feel, is on me. Take advantage of that partnership. Take advantage of what they're offering us. And those businesses and organizations that raise their hand, I'm going to take it on me to make sure that they feel good about the internship that they provide, and also making sure that it's a great experience for those kids.
Oh, I love it. Well, I can't imagine there are people not watching who are going, yeah, okay, I'm in. So how do we get in? I understand that there's a variety of ways. One is through williamsonchamber.org. So that's williamsonchamber.org, all lowercase. And there's an education piece where they can go and sign up, because we have some training that we go through, which is great fun. Or they can contact you, and that would be wcs.edu. And then when you see our beautiful new webpage, which I just think is beautiful, there, I call them a ribbon. There'll be a ribbon that'll say departments. So wcs.edu departments, and go click on that, and it goes down to career technical education.
That's correct.
And they'll find you.
And they'll find me. And if they forget everything else, call the main office at Williamson County and say, I want to talk to Dave Allen. And we'll take it from there.
472-4000.
That's right.
Dave, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Deb.
I'm excited. I cannot wait to see how far this will go. And we'll come back in a couple months and probably have even more examples. I do have one question. If this has to do with summer, that works great. But are you thinking about anything during the school year as well?
Great question. I think opportunities year-round.
Okay.
I think weekends, I think evenings, any opportunity that we can find. Like I said before, it's about taking the education we're providing to students and expanding beyond the walls. So the sky's the limit.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. There you have it. We have another opportunity for our community to get involved with our wonderful children. Please think about doing that. It's a great opportunity to go beyond the classroom walls. This is Money Matters. My name is Deb Enright, and we'll see you next time.